So I'm going to tell you about my story of Addison's disease and how I experienced with it. So it was back in 2013 when I was like 13. And it was my seventh grade year, and it was just like really rough year because it was like the end of my middle school year. And then honestly, having Addison's disease was a hard experience, and I had the opportunity to get better over the time, but I still take medicine right now, like hydrocortisone and fluorocortisone. So that was what I have been going through. Let me get a snack first. Get those gluten-free pretzels. That's like one of the outcome about Addison's disease. That's like kind of a rough thing. Anyways, so yeah, we're back in my room. Probably should have eaten some snacks in my room anyways, but I paid the rent, so do I care? No. I'm just trying to make this video a little bit more exciting, you know, but Addison's disease isn't really something that is exciting to talk about, but it is important to know about if you are studying it, or if you have Addison's, or you know somebody that has Addison's. So I'll be telling you about my experience with Addison's. So it was kind of rough experience, not gonna lie, but I feel like everybody that has Addison's probably had a rough experience too. Okay, so let's review this. So what is Addison's disease? That's not the question. What is it? What does it do to your body? So Addison's disease is a disorder where the adrenal glands don't produce enough hormones, or if they produce too much hormones, which is probably what I have. Actually, I don't remember, so let's not rely on that information. Anyway, so it's true, my adrenal glands don't work properly, so I have to take medicine, and I take hydrocortisone and fluorocortisone, and those kind of help balance out my body balance. So the way I found out about it was when I was in 7th grade. Unfortunately, that was like the worst year, kind of, because it was like the end of a middle school year, and I was just trying to figure out who I am and what I want to do in high school, stuff like that. But thankfully, it was like the whole year, and I mean, I was kind of sad that I missed like the last week of school, but that's like the consequence for not going to the doctor earlier. I was like persistent to not go to the doctor. I did not want to go visit the hospital because I was like totally done with them. So that was kind of rough. And honestly, but yeah, it's something I had to deal with, and I hope that I can share my experience with other people that can find out about it earlier than I had. Anyway, so yeah, it was back in 7th grade. I was doing track and field, and I was doing a lot of different sports throughout the school year, but we're focusing more on the end of the school year. So I did track and field, and I would do events like high jump, hurdles, long jump, and 400. So I would do 4 different events because I wanted to do as many as I can because I love track. It was like my favorite sport ever. Anyway, so yeah, we noticed a little bit difference in my, I wouldn't say balance or anything, but in a way that I was acting during the events. It was like the last meet or 2, I don't remember, but I would get so exhausted, I would take naps between the events, and that was weird because I would go out and cheer on my team and watch everybody compete, and that was like my favorite thing to do. And so that was kind of odd. So that was like the first kind of thing that we noticed about me just getting sick. So I keep saying so. Anyways, we're gonna stop saying that. Later on, like we were like, okay, hopefully she'll get better, which was kind of my kind of attitude. I was like, I'll be fine. It'll be fine. It's just right now I'm kind of sick. I can overcome it, whatever it is. It's probably a flu. So I was like dismissing everything because I don't want to go into the hospital. I didn't want to go visit the doctor. I didn't want to do any of that kind of stuff. But that was like not the right thing. Anyways, went to school and I started noticing more as I went to the school. I felt like my energy has decreased so much and I didn't have any motivation to do anything at all. Like I could barely walk between classes and I just had to sit down. I just had to like hold my stomach and just don't move. Plus I was just feeling pain everywhere. I felt like gravity was pushing me down. Like I just had to sit down or lay down and rest. And I could feel my heart rate just going faster and faster. And I was just like, I'm tired. I need to sit down. So I had classes that I would walk to different teachers. So I had to get up and go to the other class. And that was so painful and that was just so exhausting. I think it was just mostly I felt so tired, but I have a pretty high pain tolerance, so I didn't really notice the pain as much as I was feeling so tired. So it was not until like last week of school when I went to school, like I just made myself go to school and we had morning announcements. So we would go to the gym and talk. Hold on. The principal comes out and talks. So it was like in the middle of the announcement, I had the urge to go puke. So I got up and ran out of the gym and went to the bathroom. Thankfully made it. And I just puked. And I was like, I gotta go home. So I went to the office, called up my mom, and she got me, and I went home. But the whole time I was at home, I would lay down. I was just on a couch, laid there. I couldn't move, and I didn't want to get up. And at the time, my mom she told me, do the dishes. So I was like, okay, I'll do the dishes. Although it was just like, I didn't want to because I was like sick and I couldn't get up. I mean, I forced myself to get up. So what happened was I got the computer chair which had wheels on them and took it to the kitchen and did the dishes. My mom feels bad about that at that time, but that was kind of funny. And then later on, I went to the doctor to get my blood drawn. And then that was like the worst part because I almost fainted and I was just like super uncomfortable and I wanted to lay down. So we got from like I needed to sit down till I need to lay down. Like I couldn't sit. And I was having headache. I was having brain fog kind of thing. Like I couldn't think straight. And I just felt like the world was spinning. I think at the time I didn't realize I was so close to fainting at the time, but I managed. So they sent me home after that. I just laid in bed, just waited for some miracle, honestly, just to get this sickness off of me, just make me feel better. And then not too long later, actually, let's just say that my dad basically saved me. So what happened was, he got me some Cheetos which have sodium in them, and I ate them like crazy. So I actually didn't have any appetite during the whole time I was sick. I was just like, I don't want to eat that. I don't want to eat that because it's disgusting. It makes me feel sick, and I felt like I needed to puke often. So I didn't eat a whole lot. And then like the last couple of days before I went to the hospital, I just didn't eat. And then my dad brought home some Cheetos, and I was like thrilled. I love Cheetos. So I gobbled like the whole bag up, and I couldn't stop eating them. And it turns out the doctor called my parents, and they told them that I needed to go to emergency rooms immediately because my sodium level was so low, and I could have been in a coma at the time, or I should have been in a coma. But that was like a miracle that I wasn't in coma or anything like that. So we went to the emergency room, and they flew me out to Portland. And it was just me and my dad, and we went to the ICU, and they gave me the sodium, what was it, like fluid, yeah, sodium fluid, and put it in the IV. So I felt better like almost immediately. So I was like, all right, I feel better, let's go home. But that didn't happen because we didn't know what was wrong with me until like not too long later. They were like testing for everything, wondering what was wrong with me. And then they told me it was Addison's. So I was like, okay, I don't know what that is. I don't care, let me go home. So I was diagnosed with Addison's, and that was such a bummer because that means I have to take medicine for the rest of my life. And that was like the deal breaker. But I couldn't break the deal because I was unfortunately diagnosed. Anyway, so Addison's is a adrenal crisis and autoimmune disease kind of thing. And yeah, that's my story. I got better, and I got medicine, fluticcortisone and hydrocortisone, and I take vitamin D as well. So yeah, it makes my skin kind of pigmented, and I'm tan. But I like to say my family's pretty naturally tan, so I say, oh, my family's tan. But it is part of the Addison's disease kind of thing that I get pretty tan. And but yeah, I am still taking medicine consistently, and I feel good. And it is part to go to the doctor every year to check your levels, because they might change. But yeah, that's my Addison's disease story, and I hope that helped. And I just thought that would be something that people can know about me. So I have Addison's, and I take medicine, and it is an autoimmune disorder, so I could be a little bit fragile at times, like I shouldn't break a bone or anything, but nobody should anyways. So, and then yeah, that's my story. If you have any questions, just let me know, and I could get them answered.